What is something that Reddit claims is common, but you've never actually seen it in real life? That everyone has a therapist or lawyer on hand that they can just call up and get in right away. Taco Bell instant diarrhea. I'm sure it happens to some people. But it's not just Taco Bell as the cause. People immediately insisting on a bridge-burning breakup when a friend seeks advice on challenges in their relationship. I once knew a person who lived in South Asia who was surprised when an American told him I am still close to my parents and see them regularly. He said TV, movies, and particularly the relationship subreddits made him think that all Americans permanently sever ties with their parents at age 18. I make $300K a year and I can't pay my rent. If you were to believe Reddit, everyone's out here making $150K per year yet barely able to afford rent and groceries. Being accosted as a single man at a playground. I've got 2 kids and have taken them to countless playgrounds, splash pads, parks, and all types of kid-friendly places. I've seen lots and lots of single men but have never seen one get harassed. Women getting mad at men for holding the door open for them. Reddit thinks you can pick up a phone and get a lawyer like no big deal. Maybe that's true for personal injury or situations like that. But when I needed to go to war with my landlord, I couldn't find anyone who would take my money. I talked to probably 20 attorneys and paralegals to find we don't handle things like that. The only reason I found representation is because I already had a lawyer who happened to know someone she was kind enough to refer me to. Damned near everything Reddit is an absolute bizarro world of shit that never happens to normal people. All of someone's friends and family calling and texting you to call you an after a disagreement. Never once. Gaslighting every 5 seconds by 9 million people. Get therapy, yeah, been waiting 2 years on the NHS and can't afford private. In my experience, the worst people you'll ever meet or possibly even date will just be everyday-looking people. For instance, recently I met a girl who was 19 and was raped by a 17-year-old boy at a party. Her parents were so concerned with her hanging out with older boys they never thought to question if people her own age could be just as dangerous. It made me realize that the things we worry about aren't the things that will hurt us a lot of the time. Reddit feeds us a lot of false ideas on the things we should be concerned with regarding people's appearance and behaviors. Influencers at the gym. I've never seen it and I go to a fairly popular gym, but people complain about it on here a ton. LOL. Basically any of the relationship advice I see. It's always written by obviously single people who never understand that there's middle ground in every relationship argument. Reddit. I like to play video games at a loud volume. But my girlfriend says it's hard to concentrate on a different room with all the noise. Everyone on Reddit leave that co-enti-rolling bitch. Nobody should be able to ever tell you what you can and can't do. I was just going to ask what headset I should get. Thinking they're really sticking it to that son of a bitch cashier that's judging them for not rounding up to the next dollar for needy children. Was a cashier for years. We literally don't give a fuck. Do you wanna round up? Is said with the same energy as did you find everything all right? How are you doing? It's just a mindless script we're told to do. Anytime you use an iPad or Nintendo Switch on an airplane, a mother will ask you to let her child play with it, and then get extremely mad when you say no. I have never met someone who cares about the Kardashians. I haven't even seen that much advertising for them in real life. But people on Reddit will have you convinced that half of all people are brain-dead Kardashian lovers. People blowing up phones when drama happens. I'd get 2 of my siblings messaging me after family drama for gossip purposes, but having cousins, aunts, dogs-in-law blowing up phones doesn't happen. The big over-the-top gender reveal parties. Most gender reveal parties are just families doing something cute and fun to celebrate any news about a new baby they're excited about and so they can buy stuff for the baby. Hysterically offended trans people. I know a few trans people and it's never been an issue. People generally don't care and the trans people don't use their gender as their entire identity. I think y'all need to realize so many posts and comments are fake AF. They get upvoted because of shock value, and too many of you are falling for BS stories and end up getting emotionally charged over an idea. Our Ask Men meme: a man cannot go to a restaurant, shopping, or a playground with his own biological children, or women will harass him, bully him for babysitting, huh? And then call the police and frame him as a child molester. If you make the mistake of saying what the hell? That doesn't happen. They'll say, nah, this happened to a friend or a friend, so I know it happens, and you're blaming the victims. People working at the counter watching with bated breath to see if you put a tip on the screen and then making a sad face when you don't. Never seen it in my entire life. I'm assuming the entire plane clapped when they hit no tip. People love making posts about being harassed for tips by a lifeless prompt on a screen, but I find it easy to just ignore it and just hit 0 when it doesn't make sense to add a tip. Women asking for 6 figures, 6 packs and 6 feet, this is one of those things that exist purely on the internet. I know more women that let men live with them for free than one split bills 50-50 foot. Diarrhea from Taco Bell. Reddit once told me that avocado was the most popular pizza topping in CA. Complete BS. It doesn't even exist as a pizza topping in most places. I believe there's a disproportional amount of people on Reddit who eat as compared to the general population. Americans being dumb. They're just like anywhere else in the world. I didn't find them to be particularly dumber than anywhere else. Compared to Western Europe, I saw more people overall and more of them lower income, but it wasn't like, oh no, I'm in the land of anti-intellectuals now like Reddit would have you believe. Now the obesity on the other hand, totally true. Your balls penis touching the water in the toilet, never heard anyone IRL mention it either. Parenting marriage being a miserable experience. Most people I know or run into are pretty open about their ups and downs of family life, and acknowledge that yeah, there are tough moments, but we're also enjoying it as much as we can, and doing our best with what we have. And this is from people that became parents on purpose, and people like me who had happy accidents. I frankly believe that most people who complain on Reddit have never actually experienced the things they complain about. People using neopronons. Poop knife. That if you're a new mom, your infertile relatives are going to try and steal your baby. There are a bunch of them. Am I the asshole? Stories where the commenters insist the person is probably trying to steal ARP's baby. As a first-time mom, I was positive I was going to be terribly berated for daring to bring my crotch goblin, as they say, out in public. This has not happened, and I haven't seen or heard of it happening in real life. That everyone in California is a soy milk drinking, EV driving, purple-haired ultra-liberal that get abortions for funsies. I haven't met anyone like this so far, and most people here are regular people that do regular people things. Men randomly wanting flowers. That every single boss is shitty. I've had one shitty boss in all my years of work. Most were very good to great. The alarming frequency of paternity fraud. As someone who probably goes to the movies 6-8 times a year, I don't usually see much disruptions at theaters, including for popular films that attract a large crowd. A glass top range that's easy to clean. Men not washing their ass claiming it's gay to do so. Edit to the handful of people replying who have totally witnessed this and therefore it must be common. You are Reddit. That guy's wife. Trolls. I've never seen a real troll. 50 Herman Miller chairs. Something being mentioned as having happened and something being said is common are two completely different things. Usually what I see is person says thing happened and then Redditors claim nara cause they've never seen it. I'm a black woman and I've never heard the words cultural appropriation outside the internet. I don't know any black person who cares if a non-black person wears braids. Kicking our kids out of the house as soon as they turn 18. Women discriminating against short men.